What up? What up? This B-Boy R.E.G.
It's DJ Butter, y'all.
and it's Funky Fresh in the Flesh podcast.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, we got some
Man.
guests coming in today. We
Yeah.
had some great episodes. The
Word
last
up.
few episodes was dope.
Man, I'm glad that, man, we making history, Reg.
Oh
man.
yeah, yo.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
We bringing people
Man, let me
back
dig
out.
in my bag.
Yo. Hey, like we gonna do an upcoming episode called "Are You Still Rapping?"
Okay.
And basically, what we gonna talk about is, when we grew up, rap was new. We was young,
Right.
going into it as teenagers.
Right,
The people that started hip hop was like late teens, early 20s,
right.
right? So by the time we got older, it seemed like being 30 and rapping was kind of corny,
Right.
or like you aged out of rap.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna do that episode, but we're gonna go into more detail because a lot of the veterans get asked that question, are you still rapping?
Yeah, I wanna just merge off and do, had a YouTube channel banging like that as well with the digging in the crates part. I wanna go in my storage
Oh yeah.
and pull out some rarities, some, expensive records from Detroit, that people can't find, some Dilla records. I got this blue vinyl that Dilla made. It was all remixes. I got a couple of them that JD gave them to me, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So, a couple autograph records and stuff. I want to
Okay.
make sure people see, you know what I'm
You
saying?
gonna play them on your grandma's turntable?
Man, rest in peace to grandmas.
Yeah. Everybody we interviewed.
Man, my grandma
Yeah.
was our first DJ.
Yeah. Every DJ we interviewed was like, yeah, I got started with my grandma's
Yeah.
turntable. Then I saved up some money when my dad brought me some 1200.
Yeah, that's
Like grandmas was important in hip hop.
yeah.
Shout out to all the grandmas.
It's like they had the most patience. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. So what you got over there? You got some?
Oh yeah, this is a documentary I did on the homie Showboat with DJ King David.
That's what's up.
It's featuring Big Herc, Lola Damone, KD's in there, Cash Out. We gonna get it on digital platforms soon.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
dope.
copies of Good Dope Sells Itself with Pace One.
Good dope sells itself.
Yes,
Look,
yes,
when
yes.
y'all go on there, so a lot of people know me for you wanna know the funniest story, dog? When you did Kill the DJ album. So I sell real estate. I've been selling real estate forever, but I was still an MC, right? Don't let it fool you and shit.
Right.
So when Kill the DJ came out, one of my customers, she called me. We was about the same age. And she was like, I'm at home, I'm listening to a song. And I told my boyfriend, that's my real estate agent rapping. And he was like, no, the fuck it ain't. You tripping. Like, he thought she
That's
was tripping.
wild.
She called me on the phone, and she was like, I heard this song. Ain't this you?
Wow.
And then I was like, yeah. So I started rhyming the verse. He
That's
was like,
dope.
man, that's you. I would have never thought.
That's dope.
And shit, that suit and tie be having
Talk
people
about
fooled.
that song. Who was on that song? You know.
It was me, the Nine Porter, Robert Jasper, and Raymond Tracy. And we was at Rob's studio. And I came in. I think I mentioned it on the show before, but it was just like I came in. I don't recall having a verse for that. I had a few bars in my head because I always kept like certain bars. So if something came up, I have like a head start, right?
Word.
And I heard the beat, and I was like, okay, this beat cool. And every time I would come over, I didn't try to get on every song. Like every song just didn't fit me. And the beat was dope. And the Nine had his verse. Rob had something. I think Raymond put pieces stuff together while he was there. But I was just like, damn, this beat hard. Then when I heard you scratch to take the money from DeWitt,
Yeah.
oh fuck that. I gotta get on this.
Yeah.
Like
dope.
it just brought out.
Yeah, it brought out the beat.
Yeah, it brought the beat out, but it brought out that raw hip hop.
Yeah.
Cause what I liked about DeWitt was just like we was doing on the song, we was going verse for verse, all different styles, and it was so much freedom on that song. Like I was seeing some of the craziest shit. Like
he was
like
wild.
I think I said what I say. I'm bad. Give me that walkie-talkie, right? And people was like, what'd you say that for, right?
Yeah,
And I was like, you don't remember I'm
yeah.
Bad video? And LL was like,
Yeah,
give me that walk. It
yeah.
was a joke in a rhyme, but it was, yeah, that song was a banger, man.
Man, you probably the only real estate guy got a song with Eminem's hype, man.
His producer, one of the top
Yeah,
producers out there, yeah, man. But actually I am.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I know
Yeah,
any other realtors that had bars like that.
yeah.
That was actually on songs. Like they
That,
got songs
yeah,
Bizarre with Dez.
yeah.
Like I literally remember going, like my daughter used to come to the studio. I
Mm-hmm.
remember one day we was watching BET, and I think it was BET, and Dez was DJing with Slum Village.
Mm.
And she was like, "Daddy, why you not on TV? Ain't that your friend?" I
Yeah.
heard that song.
That's dope.
Why y'all not doing y'all song? I
Was
was
it
like, it
was
don't
it the
work
Dave
like that.
Chappelle show or something? What was
It
it?
was one of them. I just know Dez was
Okay.
DJing. And we was watching it because that's when me and Dez did we did kind of like, he just had a beat and I just wrote to it while we was there. I had a verse already. I was gonna do it to a Jasper beat, but Dez made a beat, and it was more like kind of like party summertime or
Okay.
whatever. And I was like, oh, this shit perfect. So I went and recorded.
Yeah, I think I got a raw version of
Yeah,
that.
when I was like, stingy asshole, I ain't trying to beg. She got
Yeah. All
all
that
that
ass
ass and
and
won't
I'm
share it
sharing
with
with
Reg.
Reg. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
And
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, then Dez started off his verse. He was
Yeah,
like, she
yeah.
got all that ass
Yeah.
and won't share
Share
it
with
with Dez.
Dez, yeah.
Yeah, that was before BBLs though.
Man. Man, Dez was on Soul Train and everything. I said, which occasion was it? You know, I said, that's
Right.
dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
But yeah, this one dope, man. The good dope sells itself.
Yeah, I was listening to it on the way, really for the first time on CD in the car.
For
Like,
real?
because I just been frozen in the process, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But,
Yeah, this was dope. Yep, my second time being on the song with Bizarre. The first time we actually recorded together for I Had a Dream. But this one, I heard Pace verse when you brought me into the studio. So I wrote everything kind of like on the same line of how Pace
right.
was flowing and then like his topic. But when I got to the studio, that was my first time hearing Bizarre verse. And I was like, damn, I could have went another direction. He made me want to rewrite my shit, but it still turned out dope.
You know, it's wild. Pace was like, yo, Butter, man, I want to work with Elza. I want to work with Royce. And, you know, I said, let me deliver it this way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when he heard it, he just was, you know, he was blown away like how it came about, you know, because
Yeah.
we worked through the pandemic. So
Oh yeah, so that was hard.
it was like, you know, it was
Yeah.
hard to move around. You know, people were scared to touch money, you know, all that
Right.
stuff. You know, PayPal's is scamming and Cash App scam, so you didn't know who to send money to.
Right.
So,
Yeah. But yeah, that would have been dope to get Royce or Elza on
yeah,
there. I could hear who else from Detroit I can hear on there. It's a lot of cats. Fat Cat, Mar One.
yeah, Marv.
Yeah, I think Pace would gel well with it. It's a few cats I
Yeah.
can think of. But yeah, it's always another go round.
Yeah, Pace is like one of us, really. You know,
Right.
outsiders is. It's like the fathers of a lot of this stuff here with D12 and stuff, really. You know?
Yeah, that's dope. So I brought up, so a lot of people is like, why Funky Fresh in the Flesh, right? So I'm gonna give y'all some history. This is actually like the 11th issue from back in the day. This had to be like early 2000s.
Yeah, I tried to put that out. Man, that was the last prototype.
Yeah,
right there.
so this was, and you could see how old it was. It was like in black. Well, this version was in black and white.
Wow.
And
let's say demo.
That's
right
when
on the front.
50 first came out.
Yeah.
And Royce album.
Say featuring Miss Corona.
Yep.
Proof and JD.
Proof.
Wow, I can't believe. And I probably.
Yep, you had the Omen in there.
I probably gave this to you to really to get your opinion on everything, because I was at the process of like should I release physical copies or should I just wait for the internet? Because the things was changing, prices
Yeah,
going up on paper,
yeah. Then
things like that.
yeah, cause you started Funky Fresh in the Flesh back in like the '90s.
In high
So
school.
I remember
Wow.
I remember being in there. I remember writing an article in there. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
like some King T stuff you covered. You
Yeah.
used to get good interviews with people.
Man, Dilla called me one time and was like, man, give me the cover, man. Fuck everybody else.
That's funny.
He just called me out the blue. He's like, man, follow me to this. I think Slum Village put out that fantastic 2.
Yeah,
And he invited me to the studio. We sat in his Range Rover, and he played "Raise It Up." But he was fighting for the cover. But it was,
right.
I was just at that time. It was so new. You couldn't just put things on the shelf and
Yeah,
hoping it race off the shelf
right,
or people want to advertise. They said, "Who was?"
right.
So
You had to put whatever was hot on the
yeah,
cover, like any
collage.
other
Yeah.
magazine.
See, I
Yeah,
had a Royce to 5.9 next to 50
right.
was strategic, just always for our, our Detroit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you look on M's first album, y'all will see that was the first album, right? Not Infinite, but the actual album he
The
had.
first major album,
Yeah,
Slim Shady LP, he had thanked me and it said Butter at Funky Fresh in the Flesh.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember seeing that, like, damn, I actually wrote for that magazine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it all started. People like, yeah, it was dope. And then you gave a lot of love to local artists in there. Like you got the Omen. I think uh, that issue got the Omen in there. Miss Corona is in there. Um, I forgot, but people was getting love.
I mean,
National and local.
that's the case was to identify our local a backyard because if you add it up, when you put Detroit physical photos on there, these is all really like ad space.
Right.
Majority of these guys, it was just promo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
So I really was trying to bend the record label's arms to let them see what we're doing and
Right.
get them sponsoring what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
dope.
that's what's up.
So yeah,
I
we
ain't
had
seen
that
this in a while.
magazine used to get circulated like all the hip hop spots. I
Yeah,
would go out of town sometime. I would see it
the hip hop
in New
shop
York.
sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was dope.
That's the meaning of the name. That's where it
Yep.
all came from. Funky Fresh in the Flesh, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm.
If somebody got an original copy, like any issues prior to the first issue, we gonna have a contest. So pull y'all copies out there in y'all basements. We gonna announce a contest coming up. You gotta have the Funky Fresh in the Flesh.
Yeah.
Yep.
We throw an event like you got a copy of the magazine, any copy you get in the party for free or something.
Yeah, we gonna put something together. What
Yeah.
else going on, man? We covered had some great interviews, man, but we got some people coming today. So we
Yeah.
want y'all to stay tuned with what's coming up.
Yo, Funky Fresh in the Flesh.
That's what's up.
I got my boy Tiny just came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets on my nerves, but it's cool. So I'm just playing.
Right. So what else going on? What's new out there that's hot that you like? I know Miss Corona mentioned Knowledge. I seen some of his work. He got the Tree of Knowledge is out.
Okay.
I listened to his flow dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like his delivery, and then I'm getting deeper into like the song content, like what his subject matter is and stuff like that. But his flow overall is dope. And he got bars. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say about a 7 or 8, based on how rate rappers. If I'm comparing it to a national level, like, I'm hard on MC.
Yeah. You ever heard Rakim's son? He pretty good, and Grand Pooba's son.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check them out.
Yeah, Grand Pooba's son pretty dope too.
Who shocked me, I didn't realize, was it Costa Nostra? The
Okay.
two twins?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know they was, it was Raskai's.
Yeah.
Kids. Yeah, they dope.
Real dope.
I like the scenario beat remix they did.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh Sons, Slim and Trips is dope.
Okay.
Square Off Gang, they out in
Yeah.
Harlem. Yeah, they got a couple projects out. I've been spending some on my mix shows, you know.
Right.
Yep,
Do it
Trips and
feel
Slim.
weird playing people son music?
Well, I
Like
mean,
we the same age, our kids rapping?
we gotta it do sometime, but it's just the art of finding something good out of it.
Right.
Like when I seen them, they rapped in front of DMX, and it was captivating. They was on BT with Ice Cube and his sons.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
Yeah.
and I got to know them. I said, man, and they B-boys with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
Hmm.
You know, mentioning kids, because I thought about Run and what was it, JoJo that was rapping,
Yeah.
his kids and Diggy and all them. So I don't know if it's just me, but I gotta ask you this, right? So growing up, we watched Crush Groove and all that. We seen Run at that age. You know, they probably was 19, 20 or something like that. When I go back and watch Crush Groove, even though I'm looking at a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, in my mind, I still see that person as older than me.
Yeah.
It put me in the mindset of being a kid again.
Yeah.
That's like how important that movie was, because every time I watch it, it take me back to childhood.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that when I see Motsi Ski
Yeah.
from DMW, because
Yeah.
we was in Northland one day, and he seemed so much older than us.
Yeah.
And was just because he was just bossed up, man.
Yeah.
We was with our mother. She had a fur on, you know, and he had a fur on. And then we had me and my brother had our little Max Julians on and stuff. But man, he walked up to us and like, y'all moms fly, you know. Me and my brother was just blown away, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope.
But Mossy gotta be about 3 years older than me, or maybe 4, but
Yeah.
it seemed so much older at that
Yep.
time,
At
you
the
know.
time.
Yeah.
Because when we was in high school, I'm thinking about now that we older and people they be like, I'm celebrating my 53rd or whatever.
Right.
And you like, damn, when I was in the 9th grade, you was in the 12th. Like
Right.
some of these major artists was in high school or just fresh out of high school when
Right.
they had a song on BT, you know what I'm
Right.
saying,
Right.
videos out. So it's funny to see over the years, it seemed like in high school, that 3 or 4 years was a big gap.
Difference. Generational
Yeah,
gap.
now when everybody needs hurt the same, it don't seem
Right.
that big of a gap.
Right.
But yeah, hip hop.
Yeah, no doubt. Say what you think about Nas' new album?
Nas dope, man. Like I think so. I think it was valid to mention Nas rapping again. Like I like the idea, the whole King's Disease series, man. It's like you can hear what he is on better beats. Not all. He had some good beats in the past, but like a whole body of work, you can hear what could have been back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I listen. People say like it was written wasn't that good. It was written as hard. Like if you listened, all that Mobb Deep production and everything, live nigga rap, the intro.
Yeah.
You play that intro right now, it's going hard or slap or whatever.
That one,
y'all say
that Dre joined the
Yeah,
Nas is
the Dre,
coming.
yeah.
That was
So
hot.
but it just went into that, shorty, what's your price and all of that.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with that, but it's hard for a rapper to have that formula. Biggie and Pac figured it out. Jay-Z figured it out. And I think from Nas beginning coming out as that MC and not, I don't know if he was selecting the beats or he was just recording songs and like this good enough. But or like even with Ross, it's a balance of saying I don't need necessarily a pop record for it to be popular.
Right.
I could stay in pocket. I can have a good production, good solid production. Like when you listen to something like The Chronic or you listen to Dre, some of Dre's best work, it's hip hop and it's popular because it's good music and it attracts a large audience.
Right.
But when some stuff just seems forced, like I'm forcing to be a pop record, right? And Now it just seemed like it's just a natural chemistry and a natural flow. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it, man. It's just real good music.
You saying that, remember how Tupac and Easy Mo B they merged together was so
Yeah,
dope. Like
yeah,
if that vibe would have kept going,
yeah.
it was like cause Easy Mo B, he seemed like he had so much of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was like, how Hit Boy seemed like he never run out of beats.
Right, right, right.
The way Easy Mo B laced that Tupac album, and how he did Biggie, it seemed like it made the East Coast and West Coast marriage like
Yeah,
go together. You know what I'm saying?
because the production was bi-coastal,
Yeah.
right? Where it had enough funk and bump in it to where the West Coast would like it. Somebody explained something perfect to me one time. He said East Coast sound is different because most guys they listening to it on their headphones. They on the subways listening to it on their headphones. They might have a radio or something in their house. The West Coast, they mostly listening to it in their cars.
Hmm.
So the sound they want to hear is based on where they're listening to it
Right.
at.
Right.
I don't know how true that is, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Here we turn up in the summertime, so like you're gonna play everything in your car you wanted to
Right.
bump.
Right.
Cruising is a thing here. I never went to New York and wanted to cruise in that damn traffic.
Yeah. It's
You know what I'm
wild. Yeah.
saying? But it's like, so yeah, if I'm listening to it here and I just want to nod my head, it's one thing, and I'm really listening to lyrics, I might get it. I might want to produce something different. But yeah, it's Easy Mo B had that good mix. You get other producers like that, like you said with Hit Boy. I'm trying to think of some others that
Yeah. It's
had
just
that.
like super access. I mean, even at the time when Pharrell and Snoop Dogg worked a lot.
Yeah, yep.
It's like I think the game changed when production credits stopped mattering. Like
Yeah, when people start reading the
yeah, just
labels,
like
yeah, yeah,
everything kind of
right,
that's what the tags on the beats like. That's the only thing I be wanting Nas to do a little more. It's like if he like grab a DJ from left field, like
mm-hmm,
with Hit Boy, not Premiere all the time to say, man,
right.
go grab Grandmaster Flash
Or
or Tap
DJ
Money. Yeah, I
Bud.
would love to do this.
No, he could grab just have him out the box, grab like Tap Money or something. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? DJ
man.
Scratch or
Just Jazzy Jeff,
yeah,
Nas and
just
Jazzy
one
Jeff,
song.
one
Yeah.
time.
Yep, that'd be
With
dope.
Hit Boy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So let me ask you this, because you produce too. Do you think the artist, influence the producer? Like, so if I'm working with if a producer's working with an artist, let's say they're working on a album or they're gonna do a certain number of songs, do you think the artist brings out the best in some producers or the other way around?
Hold on, y'all. This Mr. Wrong. He on his way.
Yeah, we got a
Hello?
guest coming in live and direct.
Okay,
Yeah,
fella. Peace.
yeah.
He on his way. I think it's just access, bro.
Right,
I think the artists be wanting to be produced. I think, the art of artists writing in the studio.
right,
Here we are, a lot of times we send beats through email and things like that. You give them time to work now a little more, but to be under a clock and you got artists writing in the studio and they not thinking about the budget or thinking
right,
about it's just the vibe of artists just wanna sit back and hear beats for 2 hours and begin to
right,
write. And so if you got a producer that'll give you that,
right.
he really producing, he just beat making. He like, yo, here,
Yeah.
come vibe. We gonna think about a movie. How was your day today? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all actually working together to come
Yeah.
up with a masterpiece versus, hey, here's a beat tape.
When you
And
got the marriage with the producer and the studio and the artist, and they say
right,
this is the umbrella we gonna raise. you know, and everybody ain't dollar for dollar, man. I think the best work come out of that. I mean,
Right,
look at Marley Marl and how the access he had.
right,
Like, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Do you think it's better for do you think it's better for artists to work with one producer for majority of their project?
Well, you know, it depends. I too think just can you imagine, like, let's say for instance, you you know, the artists get to where it's just like this. You see you Biggie album started off with West Coast music.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You know, a lot of West Coast cats could have
Right.
rapped on that. That's why that stuff was,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know, groundbreaking. I would love to hear Nas rap over some funky stuff from E40's era and
Yeah.
that stuff. Or, you know, just like
Right.
some pockets of that stuff. And then, you know, you mess around with if you mess with the South, maybe go get Dungeon Family or something, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Get that sound.
You know, even you remember how remember DMC was on Biggie's album just
Yeah, with
on
the
a pray on,
downfall.
man,
Yeah.
that mesh was so dope,
Yeah, that was
man.
perfect. Or how they grabbed the RZA. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Then they
just
went to who used to produce Bone Thugs? Was it Mo?
it was
What was their production team name?
um Mo Thugs, it was a DJ guy name.
Yeah, but that whole
I can't
that
think of the
was dope.
DJ name.
I think the best example, the reason I asked that too, because it seemed like some of the best albums from rappers had like maybe one, maybe two producers on it, right? But it seemed like it was more of what we gonna create. And I think when you do that, I think they're more honest with each other.
Hmm.
So like if I just sell you a beat and you go right to it and record, it's almost like I might not care what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Or I might be like, dang, that beat was hot. I should have sold it to somebody else.
Right,
Who knows what producers are thinking? Because we've seen it work out all ways,
right,
right?
right.
But then if I'm in the studio and I'm like, I'm hiring you to do my album or we're gonna work on this album together, I like your style, you respect mine, then I think you're gonna get a better product.
Right, right.
Because I can tell you, I like this beat, but it's missing something, or I don't want to write to that, or you. Sometimes you have a producer say, "Nah, this the one."
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of hip hop when the producer and the artist really care about the product. Like that's you know, we don't have that where it done turned into a dollar for dollar game, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right,
when you got a producer say you ain't gotta give me 3,000 today and let's get mine on the back end. Or,
right.
you know, I think a lot of that, even that on top of the sampling and all that stuff,
Yeah,
it just made hip hop a weird way, you know what I'm saying?
right. Well, I think two of the best albums I seen come out of hip hop was when people went to a different coast.
Yeah,
So when Ice Cube did America's Most Wanted and he
yeah,
went and worked with the
yeah, I
Bomb
was dope.
Squad
Or
and he
Boss
had all of that,
going
yeah.
to the West Coast.
Boss going to the
Oh
West
yeah.
Coast. But one of the biggest was, and I was too young to realize it, but then when, like you said, reading the credits, I didn't know who was who. And then it dawned on me probably about 2 or 3 years after it came out was when LL did I'm Bad.
Hmm.
So he went from radio to I'm Bad and he went out and started working with the LA Posse.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a hip hop sound, but it was like the beats were fuller than what radio had
Right.
because hip hop had evolved more to getting more. It was more instruments in it then at the
Right.
time, and a little bit samples started coming around. Scratches were always a part of it, but it wasn't as scratch heavy.
Right.
Like scratches were in it, but they really kind of made scratching part of the
Right.
instrumental. You know what I'm saying?
That's man, I
And
used to love that era.
yeah, and that was like the LA Posse, and then when then King T came out, then Breeze, remember Breeze?
Yeah, yeah.
Young Son of No One.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Breeze, LA. Yeah.
yeah, ooh, LA,
California process.
yeah,
Mm.
Posse.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was dope.
Funk. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, man, hip hop has been through its phases. I mean, we all see that, but like the young dudes now, I like a lot of their energy.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I'm not for like some of the. I mean, we had violent records back then. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. We was saying some raunchy shit back in the day. I think like I remember sitting in front of Chantonique's at Niggas for Life album. They had a song called Automobile. If
Mm.
you be good to me,
Yeah.
I'll be good to you.
Yeah.
And we'll both ride home
Home
in
in my
my automobile.
automobile. Yeah.
And all I want is the foot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm sitting in front of Chantonique's. My boy went in, and I'm just blasting it, and I'm yelling to the top of my lungs. All we want is the
That's wild.
bullet. And I remember the old lady looked out at me, and I just felt so damn ashamed.
Wow.
But it
Wow.
was like that was one of my favorite songs because I had never in hip hop people really wasn't like singing on records like that and
Yeah.
making fun of it that much.
Yeah. Man, when Easy, remember he said Compton, Michigan,
Yeah, yeah,
man, when soon as he said that, I found a way to get to his publicist. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Shout out to Phyllis Pullock. I hope he's still alive. But
Wow,
she was hooking up an interview for me for Funky Fresh in the Flesh for Easy.
wow.
But she called me and she was giving me his status on his health. But then
Right,
she called me crying. It was like he passed away. You know what I'm saying?
man.
But yeah, shout out to Phyllis Pullock. That's my homegirl. She used to keep Ruthless record stuff in my mailbox all the time.
Yeah,
Man.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Man, I miss some days like you, Mark Hicks. I got. Oh yeah, that's another segment we gonna do. So, um, I didn't really throw away any cassette tapes, so I got cassettes back to late '88. I got a box. We gonna do B-Boy's box of hip hop, and every segment we gonna review a different cassette, right? The reason we doing that is because some stuff came out of cassette that when they got to CD, there was songs missing, or
Mm-hmm.
there was a remix, or even vice versa, or there was a different version that came out.
Yeah.
Or I got some shit that's out of print. I got like promo only copies of stuff. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I looked in there, I got like Fat Man Scoop
Mm.
did like a Tommy Boy
Some Mark Hicks stuff.
project. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I got a Old Dirty Bastard like promo cassette, but like it's a whole segment on there with him. I think it's 60-Second Assassin
Mm.
and some other people, and they're performing on stage.
Wow.
But they just break out and start singing, like singing oldie but goodie R&B songs and
Mm-hmm.
shit. And this is not like no hip hop shit. They just broke out into that, just having fun. Like I
Yeah.
don't see that on the internet
Yeah.
much. But to have it on cassette before you had access to it, and this was like promo only stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
So we gonna go back through that, some oldie but goodies that people probably forgot about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I never figured out what the difference was because I listened to both cassettes side by side. I got uh, Run DMC Raising Hell cassette, but it says London version.
Wow.
And I listened to it lyric for lyric, word for word. Nothing was different between the two. The artwork was a little bit different because their color scheme was a little
Okay.
different. And so yeah, so
Maybe
it's
they pressed it up there.
yeah, they pressed it up
Okay.
different there,
Wow.
but I thought it was gonna be
A
like
bonus or
something
something.
unique about it. Yep. So we're gonna run through those and see what we got. I definitely got some Detroit hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got some people rapping that y'all didn't even know was rappers. You know what I'm saying? They into other parts of the music industry. I got those cassettes.
Word. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I got some stuff for Joey Bishop. He coming here today. Him and SFD.
Okay.
One of them tapes. Rest in peace to B Def as well. It's got some classic B Def tapes. All that World One Records.
Yeah.
People need to know about all that World One Records stuff. But DJ Los and his father and that
Yep.
history, man. That's what kind of mold our entrepreneur spirit in the hip hop game here with record labels and stuff.
Yep.
You know.
World One was like our Def Jam or Cold Chill.
Yeah, of course.
Because they had one of the biggest collections of Detroit artists and albums, and they had some of the best. Well, they had the best quality music that came out during that era.
Right.
A time, and I think all of their artists had at least one video, right?
Yeah, what Dice was Hold On to My D, that was on.
Yep.
They played that on BET early. I remember rushing home, seeing Lynn Swan in the video, man.
Yeah.
It was so inspiring, bro.
When
Yeah.
I was young, I didn't.
Yeah. Seeing the boys with the Gucci links in the video.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that song was gonna go. It had that Ice Cube feel too.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
I definitely thought that song was go national.
Yeah. Well, man, shout out to Esham once again, man. He was like before Master P with the catalog stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He kept us like, man, mesmerized by him dropping records like he was dropping too, man. That was like the earlier stages of Detroit hip hop, you know.
Yeah. Esham he got a cult following, man.
Like,
People love him.
Yeah.
Love him. Like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Esham, man. I got a song on his album called Sacrificial Lambs. It's called Stay on Your Toes.
Right.
With him and Mastermind. Y'all check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. He redid what didn't he do Everybody Walk Your Body?
Yeah. That Morris Day stuff. To see him perform that stuff, man, it's amazing, man.
Then he had some song, man, I used to love. You had it on one of your mixtapes.
Was it Mr. Ganman or something?
No, it was something. He was like something with like Jesus sandals or something. He was saying he was kind of like singing a little bit on it. It'd come back to me. It was dope as hell, but it was melodic. It had like, that was dope. Yeah, it was kind of like one of them it was kind of like off the wall for his style a little bit, but it was dope.
Yeah, I'm sitting on an unreleased Esham record.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that, man. Butter, you still have, they gonna be inboxing you on Facebook.
Shout out to Esham, Mastermind, TNT, Nodis.
Yeah. So it was a lot of rappers. So like we give a lot of credit to M for being lyrical with it. But like that shock factor, I mean, he mentioned Esham in a record, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of rock and roll shock factor music the people I remember on record doing it was Esham, and then it was an artist down south, Gangsta Nip.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Right.
He was saying some wild stuff.
Right.
But one of my favorite MCs was a local rapper. I think he recorded some stuff. But I used to just hear him rhyme at the ciphers was Shabazz. Do you remember Shabazz?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I would say like, cause he had the voice like Bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, Bizarre got a voice like him cause he was older, I think. And he just had a delivery. But some of the shit he would say, I would be like
blown away.
He said something and he was like, I put gasoline in a baby bottle. That's some shit he said. Then he was like, then he was like, I turned Cheers into a titty bar. So he was just like saying some off the wall shit, but it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And he had a style, but then was like two of the things I remember. Like,
Who else was like that? Was CMC like that? He was kind of had like a shock factor.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but not so much. I think the one that said the most outlandish shit probably was Gangsta Nip. I think some of the stuff I heard him say.
Bushwick.
Yeah, Bushwick. You know what song was dope by Bushwick? I don't think get enough credit is The Other Level of the
Oh
Game.
yeah, yeah,
He told a story and it was
yeah,
just like, man, that was a whole that was a deep
yeah.
song was sweet.
Man,
Uh,
Size Ain't Shit was dope. You know
yeah,
what's so wild? Gino XO, man, happy birthday, Gino. They called me one day and man, Bushwick hung out with Gino the whole week. You know what I'm
for
saying?
real.
I went to his crib. That Ramo called me like, man, Butter, man, I'm about to call you. I'm gonna have Bushwick hold up a CD. You know, it's
Right.
like he was just hanging out, man.
Yeah,
Gino got some records on Bushwick, man.
that's
Dang,
dope.
I'm ratting you out, Gino.
Right.
Shout out
Gino, they gonna be in your
to
DM, Gino. Every time somebody say I got, they be in the DMs.
shout out
Yeah,
Gino XO. You know,
yeah. Watch out for Willie D. Gonna make you read these Nikes.
say
Willie D
yeah,
always been a grown ass man in rap.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like if anybody
man.
was a grown man in hip hop, it was Willie D.
Remember bald head hoes,
Yeah, ball, yeah,
man. Me and my
yeah,
brother had the sounds in the station wagon. We used to
yep.
just drive slow, playing that boy. It used to be banging,
You gotta let a hoe be a hoe. Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, Willie
yeah,
D was always on some grown
yeah.
man shit. He dressed like a grown man. Back then, when a lot of rappers was. The reason I say that is because a lot of rappers was still like youthful or like playing around. When you seen Willie D or like Rakim or some of those dudes, it wasn't like they was acting hard. They was just being grown ass men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like people ask me, what's the biggest difference in hip hop now to back then? Like a 25, 28-year-old rapper back then was saying and doing grown man shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Now it's like you kind of can't tell the 18-year-old from the 28-year-old,
Yeah.
and it's not a knock. It's just, but that's just the world period.
I mean, you got old folks calling young guys big homies and stuff,
Yeah, you
So
know
it's
what I'm
just,
saying?
I think it's the art of passing the torch or uh, what you call it, returning a favor, passing it back.
Baton, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yep,
We got to get that back, even in our cultures, man.
right.
You know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just like when I look back I remember being a teenager and the 27-year-old, the 28-year-olds, it was easy to identify grown people back then that was 10 years older than you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now it's different because it was such a generation gap. Like our generation grew up on hip hop. The people that was 15, 20 years older than us, they grew up on R&B and they may have get hip hop started growing on them, but they wasn't dressing hip hop. So like, you look back, even like you look back at some basketball players from like the 70s and 80s, they 25, they look and act like a 40-year-old acts today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think society required them to take on certain responsibilities earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this thing in our group. We call it extended adolescence. So, you still youthful, but you still doing young dude shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Well into your 30s, where back then that wasn't accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So we seen that in hip hop over time. These dudes, you seen that grown man rapping, and like I said earlier, that's probably why it seemed like people started phasing out after they got about 30 because the young dudes couldn't relate to them.
Look
Now
at
it's more.
James Evans was how on Good
Yeah, he
Times.
wasn't
He was young as
James
hell.
Evans. That's why I'm looking. That's why I say you look back at people then. They still seem older than you, even though I'm 49 looking at a 20-year-old,
Yeah.
but he still look grown as hell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like people hairline was receding at 23.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, it wasn't like one or two dudes.
Right.
It just seemed weird. Maybe it was just the style of clothes or whatever. But
Right.
They wasn't wearing gym shoes too. I think that had a lot to do with it.
Right,
Street clothes
right.
all the time.
Corduroy, tight ass corduroys and shit.
Man, them styles, some stuff recycle and come back in style, but some stuff should stay where it's at.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Man, you know what's so dope to see? And man, we get onto the podcast. The Busta Rhymes, Big Daddy Kane, Conway song.
Oh man, that
just,
shit.
Just them and Marley Marl, just to just see it, you know, just like I think once hip hop like you see Conway and Big Daddy Kane like that.
Yeah, yep.
That's classic, man.
And Big Daddy
way,
Kane.
y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane bringing his Big Daddy Kane swag. Hey, we gonna pause it right here. We got a guest coming in.